everybody. I hope you had a great holiday. Happy New Year. Starting out 2021 with episode 6, and I'm actually really excited about this episode. This episode is where I finally get to build my iron farm. Now, on my iron farm, I actually plan on building a couple other farms. So I'm actually going to build a creeper farm, which some of you may have found this episode just simply by searching the creeper farm. I will have timestamps in this. If not, I will take a moment before I start the farm and let you guys know where, time-wise at the very least in the video, where all these elements are, so you can skip to them and see what mechanics and stuff I'm using. Now, like I said, I'm building an iron farm, creeper farm. I'm going to actually add a small drowned farm onto it as well. And then the drowned farm are actually going to fall into an ink farm, and that's how they are going to die. Now, I'm thinking I'm probably going to call this place the complex, just because there's so much that's going to be going on. I'm going to be hanging out here a lot now after this episode, AFK, so I can get all those farms going and getting a bunch of that stuff. Now, I do want to take a moment here real quick and kind of let you know that when it comes to the creeper farm, unless you plan on building exactly the same farm that I'm building with the breeder and everything, you're probably not going to want to copy exactly how I build this, but I am going to take a moment before I go into the creeper farm section to explain the mechanics I'm using, how it works, and why it works, and then we'll kind of go from there. So anywho, over the holidays, I actually had a lot of fun. I did have to go do a trip, so that's why it's kind of a bit of a length in between the episodes. But before I left on that trip and during the Christmas part of the holiday vacation, I was making something. So in my nether fortress here, like I said, I had these little nooks, and I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to put in each of them, but I had some ideas. Well, I think I figured it out. So right here is where you can easily access the pathway to my guardian farm. I think I said nether farm earlier. Maybe I didn't, maybe I didn't. I meant guardian farm. So I made a guardian farm, and this is a pathway to it. Not too far away, which is nice. I also built a little railway in case you want to take a little minecart. I am kind of digging where this ended up. You can even kind of see that's where the fortress is. And then right about here is where the iron farm entrance is going to be. And we go up around and in, and let's check this bad boy out. Now, with this guardian farm, it's nothing too special in the sense of what it is. I mean, it's a guardian farm. There's only one way to build these. Now, what I have done is I did actually mess around with a little bit with an ink farm, and I'm actually quite surprised this is producing ink. And then here's my sorting system, which conveniently enough, right when I was making this was when Silent put out his sorting system video, and I'm glad he did because I was using one of the other designs that just wasn't fast enough. What I'm using here is one of the double speed sorting systems because of how much this kicks out. Now, I've got a bunch of stuff to collect, and like I said, even ink is actually coming out of that small little spot over there, so I'm quite amazed. Now, I did do a couple of things a little differently here in the sense of the what I have actually going on. So when you build this, you have 25 spots that guardians can spawn in, and you have the little nodes for it where they've got the trident killers and feeds all the all the drops up to you. Now, I am on a realm, so it is pretty laggy, and then on top of that too, it's a lot for the sorting system. The sorting system I have now can definitely handle it, but the first one I had in could not handle it. Mainly I kind of did this next little step for my own lag on my realm, but basically these spots are 25 spots that they could potentially spawn. As you can see, there's a couple spawned in there. It looks like 3. A couple are spawned over there. So it doesn't necessarily mean that only one's going to spawn in each spot. So multiple spawns will occur in one little area that they can spawn, spawnable area. So to cut down on the lag, I actually took out 12 of these, mostly on the outer edge. Basically, they're constantly on, as opposed to getting turned off with the switch and then activating. So I only have 13 going, and I mean, I'm still getting huge amounts of stuff. And that's even after going through and filling all these double chests with lights, prismarine bricks, and then I also have shockers full over here, which is partly why we came back, because all of these shockers, 15 of them, are getting used in the build for today's episode. So we'll go ahead and grab these. We'll head over there. We'll get started on that. But I did want to take a moment to show you that I have been busy getting ready and getting prepared for this build. And in that process, I built a guardian farm. And then actually off over there on that island, I even have some turtles caught so I can get some turtle eggs for the drowned portion of this farm. Anywho, so let's head over there. I'm going to collect these shulker boxes, and we'll see you in a sec. And so we're here. This is where I'm going to put the iron farm. My main base is off over that direction. The reason why I'm up here on level 110 is because the bottom of the ocean floor is level 30 something, like 32. And where I'm standing is basically on the bottom of the catch for my iron farm. So where I'll actually be AFKing is about 24 blocks above that. So that should put me more than the 92 blocks away of possible rendering distance for the spawning distance for mobs. Now, I'm on a realm, of course. So we are unfortunately restricted to the original 24 to 44. Well, not original, but what we've been stuck on for God knows how long. And original to me. That's how new I am. But basically, on the off chance, if they ever do fix the whole realms issue and we're able to get, up to that 92 block distance, I did build it way up here so that way it would not affect any of my mobs that I'm going to have spawning up here. So that's pretty much it on that, I think. Yeah, that's all that we got going on. All we got to do now is build it. So And so we're kind of done with the first part here. So to kind of explain what I'm doing, obviously I got to bring villagers in. I'm putting all my villagers in these little containers. I'm going to replace these walls as needed with the fletching tables for them to work in. Now, the reason why I have these trapdoors in here right now, because these will actually get removed, is so when I cart them in, it'll stop right there. I can break the cart, and then since with trapdoors they have a tendency to actually stand on them, and so even when they're open like this, so basically the most it can stand on is back there, and the only way they can go is forward, which is into the hole, which guarantees that they'll drop if they don't just drop immediately in. And then we got the water in there for them to bounce around in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the other side, and we're going to get our first villager. Alright, so we are over here. We've got our villager set up, ready to go in. I need to actually grab myself a cart here. Alright. And let's do this. So turn that on. Yeah, there we go. Go, dude, go. I have way too many villagers. Oh. And then as before, we're going to hop off. That minecart's going to go in there, transport through. We're going to break this one. He should transport. We then go through. Alright, we're going to come through here. And there he is. And he is going to go ahead and key to that first bed. Oh, I forgot to show that part. So I do have a bed right up in here, on this side right here. That's what he keyed to. That is where the center of the village will be. Now to drop him in there, we just break that. He falls in. I even think I managed to get the minecart. Sweet, that worked out. And then we drop down here, come up to this spot, and I do believe he should be right in here. Yep, there he is. Perfect. Alright, so I am actually going to put the first one right there. And there we go. That is awesome. So, now I plan on putting 6 in here. So, I'll also need to break that one. And then I'll also do, because that's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll probably do one or that, probably do the one in the back and the one up there or something. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of keep these front ones unused if I can, but it doesn't matter. I'll cover it up with some other stuff anyways that I got planned. So there we go. There's our first villager, and the town is formed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all the beds set up as I can and get all these villagers in. And like I said, I've got 60 of them to do, and it's going to be a bit of an adventure, but that's all we're doing here right now is we're getting those in, and then all this white concrete is going to be gone, and so I will be back, little movie magic, as soon as all these are filled. Welcome to my creative world, guys, and since I'm creative, I went ahead and I took off my armor. This is normal me. And so, what most of you probably came here for is the creeper mechanics, and how am I getting a creeper farm to work. They're pretty broken right now, for the most part with Bedrock. Reliability is hard and all that stuff too. So, I actually have this over here. This is my old original design that I had. That probably looks familiar. Up there was where I had the creeper farm, but I've kind of changed it and modified it. So anywho, this is the important part that we want to be at. So a couple of things. First, the design I had, and that you're going to see in the following build that I originally built, was this design. And I didn't have the cat in a minecart going. It was cats in these little channels at the very end. They were protected by a half slab that was like right there. The little kitty was behind it. And, you know, mechanics wise, it works. You know, you throw a creeper egg and they'd be standing there and it'd work. As you can see, cats in a minecart also works. Is not a problem. But the problem is that the creepers just won't spawn. I went and I built the whole thing with these mechanics and no creepers were coming out. I was getting really irritated. So I came back in here and I remembered my original design that I had used where I was getting creepers to work. It was actually basically like this square here, and I had cats all along the outside edge, and they would scare them into center. They would fall through trapdoors and down into the catch over there. I forgot I had totally modified this one to try to figure out some new mechanics, so I can't actually show you. The only problem with that is that I had the cats laying just on the outside. Now, the problem is, even with buttons, I would still occasionally get spiders to spawn, and that was annoying, but it was something I could deal with the exception of the fact that either the spiders, or maybe it could have even been the creepers too, would move the cats. And the thing is I was trying to find out ways to get them to be safe from spiders if they do happen to spawn, although hopefully they don't, but you know, if they do, or creepers even pushing them around. And so that was kind of how I got onto this, is because I found out that they will see, like, creepers will spot a cat over a half slab. I was like, okay, cool. So we'll just use half slabs for everything, make it easy, no harm, no foul, whatever. Well, that doesn't work. For whatever reason, and I don't know if it's because creepers, when they first spawn, the first thing they do is look around to, you know, the immediate, you know, squares around them that they can all walk to or whatever. I don't know what it is. Something's going on. They won't spawn in these channels. But since they can track over the buttons, they will spawn on this setup. So basically this is more or less the same thing that I had in my other one, with the exception of the newfound information that they can see over the half slabs. So now I have half slabs protecting them. What does this mean? The creepers can't push them, and even if spiders get in here, the spiders can't get to them and move them around too. Now luckily in my design, I only saw one spider, and that was when I was building the additional catch that you'll see, and I think that was just because I was nearby in the location. So yeah, so that's the mechanics I'm using. This is exactly what it looks like. This is 5 deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got the cats here. The creepers spawn, they run over. The reason I have this extra thing here is because I noticed that, like, and I'll do it right down here, they would sometimes stop, yeah, right there, if they didn't have that extra block and trap door. But if I put them there, they run right off. no harm, no foul. I mean, these guys will eventually too run off, but they're just sitting there on the edge for so long that adding in that row. So that's why I have that other row in there as well, you'll see, with the trapdoors, is simply to facilitate them to think they can actually track to this block, and they'll actually run off. Another thing too, I was thinking I was going to have drowned fall off the top of these and then catch them in some magma blocks with water, water columns, thinking I could get octopus to spawn and I could kill my drowned. It'll be great. Well, I was testing that out, and the problem is the drowned only drop stuff I don't want. It's zombie flesh and the nautilus shells or whatever. So I'm getting rid of that idea, but I do still have some drowned actually popping up. You'll see that as well. But like I said, the main mechanics that we're concerned with here is getting the creepers to spawn and then to run off. Obviously they'll run off. The problem is they won't spawn in this type. This type they do, and so far I have not seen all but one spider spawning it. And like I said, I don't even think it was spawning inside of here. I think it was because when I was building the catch I was close enough and they spawned like up there on the ceiling or the side or something. I don't know. But anywho, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and get this built, and we'll see ya. Armor on and ready to go. Alright, everybody, and that is it. That is basically today's episode. We did a lot. So we got that extra catch up there built. The reason why I built that is because I was noticing that some of them that were falling out were landing on the edges of this, and I was losing out on some of the creeper juice because of it. Now, I also, when I added this catch up there, I also added a little bit up here as well. So this part right here, here we go. Underneath here is a whole nother section that I added. This section is the same as these other two tiles, except it's just a little bit smaller, and they have a single, and they all go in that center there. So they all, creepers spawn over here, get pushed to the center, they fall down the center, and then I have water in there, pushing them to the center. They fall directly into the Trident Killer catch. So this also has 3 levels. So I added some more creeper generating space and area, and then up here as well I added some more space for more drown to spawn as well. Boom, perfect. So everything is looking good. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna head down, and I am gonna go ahead and empty this all out, and then we are gonna leave this sitting here overnight. I will time how long I leave it, but let's go ahead and make sure the things we're concerned with. Okay, there's only 18 in there, nothing in there. You know what, let's pull out the iron as well. Nothing in there, and then I'm going to add some blocks here. And so in this one, I have all the blocks and this little extra bit because I'm just not going to hold on to it. So there's nothing in that chest. Gold, you know what, let's go ahead and do gold too. Let's get the gold out of there. So there should be no gold, no iron, and then no creeper juice. Ink, we're sitting at about, let's make it 4 stacks, and then let's put all of this, we'll put it in the bone one, so that way we know, because I'm not really getting any bones. Alright, so yes, like I said, let's go ahead, let's set ourselves up, and we are using the looting effect on this with this Trident Killer. Another little aspect is, so basically what I've done is I've got Silent Whisper's new version of the Trident Killer, so experience will flow out, but I also combine an aspect of the prior version where there's hopper minecarts underneath. So the hopper minecarts are actually snagging all the drops and then kicking them out here and dropping them into our sorting system below. But at the same time, all the experience is actually getting kicked out the side here, and I'm actually able to collect the experience while having the drops go somewhere else. So let's go ahead and let's get this turned on. Looks like there's already some guys in there, which is perfect, and that should do it. Yep, experience is dropping right there, so that we're good to go. And we see drops coming down, so that is perfect. So yeah, guys, it'll be instantaneous to you, but let's go ahead. We'll leave this where this is overnight, and then we'll be back in just a sec. We'll get the numbers and we'll see what we got, and I'll let you know how long it was that we had this thing running. Alright, everybody, so it's been 10 and a half hours about. and we are going to go check to see how we're doing on the Creeper Farm juice. So okay, that's actually not that bad, I guess. So that's like a chest and 48, so I'm kind of curious. So that's about 12, that's actually 1,200 items, so that's actually not that bad once you hear that number. And divide that by 10.5, because it was 10.5 hours. So yeah, that's about 115-ish items per hour on the Creeper juice. So that's almost, I mean, that's a little less than 2 stacks an hour. So I guess that's not too bad. My iron farm is doing roughly about the same, which actually isn't too bad, considering. And not very much gold, but that's okay. Got a bunch more bone meal from the flowers. Kind of curious, is this full? Oh yeah, not even too much on that. So it looks like the drowned... Oh, I had left 4 in here, I think, so almost, like almost 2 stacks of ink isn't bad either. And it doesn't look like this is super full of anything, although I did get a bunch of tridents, so that's actually a positive. So I definitely have a viable means of getting some tridents, which is great. So yeah, so I would say this is a success. That's almost 2 stacks per hour. I don't know if that's technically good or not, but to me that seems great. I guess coming into it after dealing with the Guardian Farm, where there's just such an overflow of items coming out of that thing, that's probably kind of messed with my perspective. So this is actually probably really, really good, and I just probably don't realize it. But yeah, not bad. So that's going to be a positive, because next we're moving to a villager trader. But in between that, and I'll show you the results, I'm going to be making a tree farm. I am going to go ahead and make the tree farm that I made in my last one. I got it from a person named A Writerish, and she got it from someone else, which she acknowledges in her video tutorial of it. But I'm going to get that built so we can then farm some wood for the villager trading hall, because I'm going to need a lot of wood for that. So it'll be very similar to with like the Guardian Farm. I will show you what the end result is and how well it's doing, but I'm probably not going to do any recording of making that, because it is someone else's design. They already have a tutorial and all that, and that would just seem kind of pointless. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that helps. The drowned part up there, like I said, it's kind of doing okay. A lot of the drowned are getting stuck right there on the edge. So yeah, whatever, they're drowned, they're done. But anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Have a great day, and until next time, this is Captain Paperweight.